This film features two sequences that might be the most terrifying things I've seen so far this year. Hey guys, I can't say I just watched. Yesterday, I watched The Backrooms, which is the debut feature from Kane Parsons. It is the next chapter in his web series about the fictional Backrooms, a alternate universe that's a never-ending maze of liminal spaces that's crawling with these critters, goblins, whatever you want to call them. I have been watching the Backrooms videos here on my channel. It's been a while. We still have a lot of videos left to go, but don't worry, I'll get back. We'll go back. We're gonna finish them. Don't worry. I promise that is the next objective on this channel. We're gonna finish the Backrooms, all right? I'll get back to them real soon, okay? But I just wanted to make sure that I got the chance to see the film in theaters, because I like seeing movies in the cinema as they're meant to be seen. I didn't want to lose my chance. And I'm so glad. I am so glad I went to go see it. This was just a real treat to see on the big screen. This film follows Clark, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, a furniture store owner, and his therapist Mary, played by Renata Reinsve, who discover a mysterious doorway leading into the Backrooms in the store's basement. The first thing that really caught my eye in this film is just the cinematography and the visuals of it. Obviously, the set design is beyond impressive. It looks amazing and just terrifying, and the liminal spaces just make your skin crawl. But the cinematography, man, oh man, this is gonna piss some people off, but my brain, as I was watching it, it was just screaming Kubrick. I would not be surprised if The Shining was a huge inspiration for this film, both for the script aspect and also just the visual style of it. There's so many long shots with these wide-angle lens. Visually, my brain was just like I said, it was just screaming Kubrick, which is very impressive for a first-time filmmaker. On top of that, the wide-angle lens allows for so much more empty space in the frame, and it kind of reflects our own character's loneliness, and it's really well done from the technical side of things. But on top of this being shot like a standard narrative feature, there's also found footage aspects or found footage sequences in this film, which makes a lot of sense as a callback to the web series, which is all found footage pretty much. And, oh my God. I mentioned at the start that there were two sequences that scared the ever-living daylights out of me. And they were the two sequences that are found footage in this are the two sequences that freaked me out. If you've seen my reactions to the Backrooms videos, you know that I get really fucking squirmy and freaked out by VHS, old technology, that kind of shit. So the two sequences that were filmed this way, the one in the opening and spoilers. Sorry, spoilers for the rest of this review. This is going great. But yeah, the opening sequence and the other one in the middle of the film, yeah, like a fucking terrifying shit. It felt like it felt like they were both just ripped straight from the web series. Like you could just cut out these two moments and just put them in the fucking playlist. You know what I mean? I love that Parsons has such a clear idea of this world and how it should be captured. And this film, it very much does feel like another chapter in the web series, as well as a standard narrative feature. It's incredible. But I also kind of wanted the entire film to be shot in that, found footage format, because I mean it when I say it spiked my cortisol levels, like to an unsafe degree. Mr. Parsons, you're paying for my medical bills if I need them. The opening scene in particular is also just such a great introduction to the film. It really works in bridging the gap between the web series and the narrative of the film, getting fans of the web series to just immediately lock in because it's something that they are familiar with and they're already a fan of, but it's also drawing in new viewers to give them a taste of not only what the web series is like, but also it just serves as a great introduction to what the Backrooms is. It has everything. I mean, async, the liminal spaces, creatures lurking around. It's so perfect as an intro to the film. Even the score is very reminiscent of the web series. Just this synth, every single song in this soundtrack just sounds off and eerie. I don't really know how else to describe it. You just hear it and you think of the Backrooms, right? But it creates this uneasy feeling within you. it's so, another great aspect of the film. I'm praising the technical stuff so much because it is really, really impressive. And of course, there's also a lot of Easter eggs and references to the web series. I mean, some of which I did catch. I think the wall of buildings and windows, like that felt like it was ripped straight out of the first video. I'm pretty sure that I'm almost certain we revisited that exact same location in this movie. I'll put a clip of what I'm talking about on here, but I know that there was a lot that I missed because, like I said, I'm less than halfway through the web series, so I'm excited to go back and finish it and then go back and watch the movie again to, catch everything else that I missed. The only aspect of the film that I wasn't super strong on is really just the character work. I think that both Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renata Reinsve are fantastic in this. And I get what Parsons was trying to do with them. I just think that okay, wait. Let me talk my way through this. Of the two, Clark, Chiwetel Ejiofor was the more interesting one. He's got a lot of pent up anger and trauma. He's an alcoholic, a failed architect, owns a shitty pirate themed furniture store. He lives in the store. He's lonely. And so the Backrooms just becomes like this sanctuary for him, this place that he can appreciate for its design, but it also allows him to be shamelessly lonely. It gives him a second chance at life. So him deciding to leave the real world in favor of the darker one that's a reflection of his own inner problems. That's as blatant of a metaphor for suicide and mental health as you could fucking ask for, right? And to add on to that, having the Backrooms be this world that remembers everything and everyone that enters it and even creates another you is nothing short of fascinating to me. The Backrooms as a place in this film reminded me a lot of the shame rooms in Thunderbolts, a reflection of our own characters, own past traumas and anger that they must confront, which is why it's important for Clark to see the chairs when he first enters. It's not just because he owns a furniture store. It's like the Backrooms is already mocking him from the second that he enters. It's like the Backrooms is telling him this is what your life has become. It's also crudely just thrown together in this structure, like it's mocking him for his poor architectural abilities, I guess. It's just a mess. And I think when he finds the Christmas tree during the camcorder segment, this is a bit of a stretch. But to me, it felt like the Backrooms was mocking him for ruining his chances at having a family. He'll never get to have that experience with children of his own because of his failed relationship. Like I said, that might be kind of a stretch, but that's what I got from that little moment and why I thought it was important for him to find the tree at that point in the story when he does decide that he wants to stay here. And then, of course, you have Big Pirate Clark, the big main monster of the film. Pirate Clark as a character makes me wonder how the Backrooms copies people, right? Because the other copies we see in this film are so passive. They literally just sit there and they don't do anything. Most they do is like kind of tweak out every now and then. But the woman in the dress like runs at some point. But besides that, they don't do anything. But Pirate Clark himself is very active and very aggressive. So I'm wondering if the Backrooms, when it copies someone, if it copies a person's own worst traits. In Clark's case, it's his anger, his rage, his loneliness. This is a question I hope never gets answered by Parsons as I'm talking it through, because I know he knows the answer, right? Like, he has such a clear view of this world that I hope to God he does not like outright say the answer to the question that I'm asking, because the mystery of it makes it that much more terrifying. But even if that's not necessarily how it works, that is kind of how it worked in this film. And, it's kind of very blatant that Clark has to face off with his darker self that is an embodiment of his worst traits. Again, it's not a subtle film at all, but it works. It works for what it is. So yeah, I just love what they did with Clark. I think he's a really fascinating character. I am not the biggest fan of Mary, and like I said, it has nothing to do with Renata Reinsve's performance in this. I think she's fantastic, right? I don't think she's capable of delivering a bad performance. I'm just struggling with the way the film presented her character and the way we left off with her. She is a character whose own goal is to save someone. She's Clark's therapist who is dealing with her own trauma caused by her own paranoid mother, who was committed to a psych ward when Mary was very young. So Mary has a lot of guilt with not being able to save her mother, or just not, being physically able to do anything to help her out. So obviously going into the Backrooms, she is giving herself that chance to be the hero and save someone. Yet by the time the film is over, her arc doesn't feel anywhere close to complete. And this is leading me into my biggest problem with the film, which also kind of happens to be the thing that I was really praising the film for, which is the fact that it feels like another episode in the web series. Because of that, I think it limited what Parsons can do with this character. I think he has plans for Mary long term. I mean, obviously he can't get fucking Renata Reinsve in a analog horror YouTube video. That's just not gonna happen, right? But it's clear that he wants that character to have a main role in the film side of things going forward. It would be really stupid of A24 to just not make another one of these movies. I know they already have one in the works, so I wouldn't be surprised if you want to keep a Renata Reinsve and a Mark Duplass around in this franchise. These well-established, great actors. You want to keep him around, right? But with that, it also means that he can't really give her arc or her story an ending, because then that just means the character is done. So that made where we left off with her a bit unsatisfying for me. But I will say the last bit of the Backrooms creating rooms based off of Mary's own trauma, ending with a deformed version of herself, is just wonderful. That is a fucking creepy ending. That is a really creepy ending. Everything always circles back to its central theme of dealing with your trauma, and how the Backrooms is a reflection of our characters' minds. How we tend to twist events in our heads, and how that twisted version of things is what haunts us. I think this film is great, honestly. It made me more excited to hop back into the web series, and it just made me so pumped to see what Parsons does next. The kid is very, very young, and he's got more talent in him than fucking Uwe Boll. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy shit. The amount of work and effort he's put into this series is nothing short of astounding, and he deserves all the praise in the world. He is so talented, and I'm just so proud of the guy. I have no clue how he's done it. I don't know how he does it. It's just, wow, man. He's an absolute legend. So hats off to you, Mr. Parsons. Keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to see the future sequel of the Backrooms, and also what other new episodes of the web series you put out. But yeah, if you're new here, stick around on the channel, because we are going to be continuing with the Backrooms web series very, very soon. Also, let me know what you guys thought of the mic. I'm planning on using this for some stuff in the future. I don't know how it sounds really. I'm still gonna keep the good old classic one. All right, I like this. I like the way this one sounds. But I wanted to test it. I wanted to test this mic with this video. So let me know. Does it sound good? We like it? We don't like it? Let me know. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Long live cinema.